Okay, so this next video is on increasing and decreasing intervals, okay? Keyword here is intervals. So increasing for what x values Now I want you to key into the fact that we are always talking about the x values. You're observing what the y's are doing during the x values. So for what x values is f of x or y, however you want to look at it, increasing, going up. Decreasing for what x values is f of x decreasing, going down. Now everything we just talked about with interval notation still sits here. Your bracket when you touch a value, infinite when you're not. So here, when you're an open circle, or don't touch that value. For all of these graphs, I'm going to assume that they are going on infinitely in both directions, because that is just what is safer to always do. If you don't see an endpoint, like a specific dot, then I would assume it's going off infinitely in both directions. So for here, I'm increasing. How you can look for increasing is always start at the left hand side and imagine that you are a person walking. Would you be walking up or down? Well, even though I'm barely walking up here, I am still walking up. And here I am walking up a lot and then I taper off, but I am still increasing in my value. So I would say I am increasing from negative infinity to positive infinity. This whole graph is constantly increasing. I would say it is decreasing, never. Or leave it blank, okay? Here, again, I'm going to put my arrows on here because I just think that is better. And now increasing, again, I always draw a person over here to help me look. Am I going to be walking up as I walk this way or down? And I would say I am constantly walking down. Again, it's starting to taper off, but it never gets to zero. So I'm increasing, never, or leave it blank. And I am decreasing the whole thing. For this last graph, what do you think is happening? I mean, second to last graph. This graph, I would say, is constant. So it is neither increasing or decreasing. We have a constant rate of change from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay. Again, on the last graph, draw those arrows because those will help. Now, if you were this person walking down from here, which if I was to follow over is negative infinity. So you might want to do that for some of these, is put your negative infinity. If I was to continue this arrow, where it continues off to is positive infinity land. Okay, so I am increasing if I find it. If I was to walk, this is going downhill. This is constant. And now I'm starting to go uphill, starting at 2, right when I hit 2. Remember, the graph is hitting 2, so I'm going to put a bracket to show from 2 to infinity, I am increasing. I can never be infinity, so I'm going to have a parenthesis for infinity. Now for decreasing, we already drew that little line of decreasing, which would have been in the beginning. Again, if I continued over, this is negative infinity. I can't be negative infinity, so it's a parenthesis. And then that is going to go all the way to right here. And I touch negative 2, so it gets a bracket. And then it is constant from negative 2 to +2, and we can just do the brackets because both of those are inclusive, included in the graph. That is how we tell increasing and decreasing. You have a couple slides, a couple drawings on the next ones to help you decide. I suggest drawing the person like I am, and if you need to, if you're a visual person, drawing the person and figuring out are you walking up or down is a big help.